Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, Manifesting with KK. I'm KK and I'm here to talk to you today about some of my manifestation journey that I hope you are open to receiving and receiving this beautiful message, because there's so many people out there who feel lost in this process, and there's just so many coaches out there that share so many different techniques and things that you should be doing, and if you don't do it you feel like a failure. And I want to talk to you about how I manifested before I even knew of all these techniques. And I want to talk about how I manifested before I knew of the law of assumption or Neville Goddard or any of these teachers or teachings. And I think that this is very timely and important because nowadays in 2025, we're so inundated with so much information overload. And some of the success stories I want to share with you happened to me more than 10 years ago, sometimes even 15 years ago. And again, at that stage, I didn't even know I was manifesting and manifesting the life that I was desiring so much. So today I'm going to be talking to you about how I manifested my dream career. And I didn't know what it was going to look like or all the steps and the how and everything. And I'll share with you what I did. And this is again, like before YouTube took off with all these coaches and all of these mentors and gurus and techniques and forums and whatever, right? So I really want to share with you the simplicity of what I did when times were just simpler and how I still got what I wanted. And I wonder if I had known all this information that I do now, how much quicker I would have gotten the results that I was desiring. So again, just know that I didn't have all the knowledge and information from the internet when I was manifesting all these things. So I don't know if that makes me feel old. I'm not sure, but I hope that you're open to receiving this beautiful testimony and what I'm about to share with you. So if you are liking what I'm going to share, please make sure that you subscribe, like, comment, all of that good stuff, and I'll try to get to it if I can. So today I want to talk about how I manifested my dream career. And this was something that I knew. What I do now is I help students study abroad, and I am a high school counselor, but I'm also I do a lot of other things where I help mentor young people who want to study at universities all over the world. And so that's kind of what I do as a full-time job. And this is what I've been doing for nearly 20 years. And so when I first started out in this career, I kind of fell into it, and I share a lot of this on my other channels and other platforms. But I knew back when I was in graduate school that I wanted to help students study abroad, specifically study in the US, or students in the US study internationally. Like I knew I wanted to do that, but I also wanted to do it like pre-college. I didn't want to do it at the university level. And so I was always in my head, like, I know this is what I want to do. I don't know how it's going to happen while living in Los Angeles, because at the time I was living in LA. That's where I was born and raised. And I was like, I don't know how this is going to work. I didn't know about international education too much and the whole world of it. And I used to literally drive in my car going to and from my house to school or to wherever. And I would drive along the 405 freeway, and I would just fantasize about living in a cosmopolitan city, which I already was, to be very honest, but I was just living in the beach communities of LA. And I used to imagine working with students who want to study abroad. But again, I just didn't know how that was all going to materialize. And when it got down to, my final year of graduate school, I started applying for hundreds of jobs, you guys, and nothing was clicking, and everything was giving me the ick of this is not where I want to be. I didn't want to be in LA anymore. I just had that feeling I just want to go somewhere else. But I also knew I didn't want to be in the US, which was really interesting. I thought I wanted to live in Australia, Melbourne, Australia specifically. And I was looking into the whole process of getting a job there and doing something with higher education or college counseling, something like that. And their immigration, as you know, is a little bit tricky if you're not a skilled worker that they need, right? So I was doubting myself, this is not going to happen. This is not going to happen. They're not going to need somebody like me. And at the time, I was introduced to the idea of visiting Dubai. And this was back in 2013 when I was getting ready to graduate graduate school. And I was desperately looking for a job, and nothing was working out. I mean, I was going on hundreds of interviews, getting up to the third interview and still being told, no, we're not selecting you or moving forward with you. And, it really chipped away at my confidence. It really chipped away at, getting a job and just making ends meet. This is what was happening. But I was holding so close this idea of like, no, I really believe that I'm meant to do something bigger, make a bigger impact, help students study abroad. Like, I just knew that that's what I wanted to do. I didn't have a clear picture at all, you guys. I had zero idea of what this could look like. So I also had the desire at the time to learn how to teach English as a foreign language to students, and this was something I wanted to do. So I took up a course that I bought off of Groupon, funny enough, back then. And I took the certification. I had nothing to lose. And so that was my inspired action. And again, I didn't know what inspired action was. I was just kind of like, well, let me try this, and maybe this will help me get my foot in the door somewhere. And I did this little certification. I started looking for jobs. Again, I didn't know how to find jobs abroad. I didn't know if it was legit. I had a couple friends that taught English, maybe in Japan, Thailand, Italy, Mexico, these places. But again, at the time, I was not really understanding the whole international education scene, and I had no one to mentor me. So I would just kind of ask like general questions and try to figure it out myself. But everything I was doing was just like intuitive and what we call inspire action in the law of attraction assumption community. And I didn't know it was that. So what I did was I took this course, I started applying for jobs, and because I was introduced to the idea of visiting Dubai one day, I was like, I'm going to look for jobs in Dubai. Again, was very passé about it, and I ended up getting a job off of Craigslist, you guys. Like back in the day, I don't even know if that website exists, but it sounds so dodgy when I say it out loud. But I want this to be relatable. That's why I'm just telling you everything. So I found this job, and I got the job, and within 3 weeks, I was on a plane to Dubai, and I started teaching English to children, and that's what kind of got me to Dubai, where I live now. And essentially, I I hated that job. It was awful, but I stuck it out. And that saying, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, is so true, you guys. So I braved it for a whole year. And while I was in that job, I started looking for college counseling jobs as a college counselor, high school counselor in Dubai. And I ended up getting a job as a high school counselor at an all-girls school. And that was a step in the right direction because I started doing what I wanted to do. But it wasn't the entire manifestation. So these students are a little bit more conservative. They don't really study abroad. Very few of them. A couple do, but not all of them. And then while I was in that job, I was still feeling like, oh, but I wanted to work like in a co-ed international school where it was very like dynamic and robust. And like it was still like inside of me, this feeling. And so mind you, now I did 1 year of the teaching. I did another year of this all girls school. And during my probation period, I got a letter saying that my position was going to be terminated. So I was being told that there was restructuring happening. And so again, it was devastating, but at the same time, that happened in January. And then by February, I happened to just be in this random Facebook group, you guys. And again, this might make me sound old, but this random Facebook group. And there was a counselor who had posted a job at what we consider an outstanding rated school here in Dubai. And it just basically said, anybody want to jump ship and come to this school, contact me. And I remember exactly where I was standing, what I was doing, who I was with, all of that, even like down to the time of the day. And I was just like, oh my God, this I think is, okay, I'm going to apply. Like I applied, and then like that was February. And then by March, my birthday, the middle of March, I received an interview and I got the job within a week. And that job ended up putting me on the path to me working in a co-ed school, a very dynamic one where I'm sending kids literally to study all over the world. And it wasn't until maybe 1 or 2 years after I was already in the job, I had that aha moment of like, oh my gosh, I'm doing exactly what I thought I wanted to do. Like all those years, all those moments of like daydreaming and envisioning myself living in another country, helping students study abroad, I'm doing it. And again, like I didn't have any techniques. Maybe just visualization or daydreaming. I'm a daydreamer. So if you like daydreaming, that's a really good way to, just think about what you want and like there was nobody there to tell me no, right? Like there was nobody to say like this is stupid or this is dumb. It was just like my thoughts of like what I wanted. And again, this was 2000 like 11, 12, 13 when I was desiring all this, and it wasn't until 2015, 2016 I got that job and I realized I am doing what I wanted to do. And if I had known all these like techniques and maybe was following some of these other communities more closely, maybe I would have got my manifestation sooner. I don't know. I have no idea. But I just want to share this story with you because I feel like whenever I watch it now on YouTube, because I do enjoy watching people's testimonies and stories and learning about it and refining my ability to be more in tune with my intuition and myself and trusting my power, I just want to share with you that I was doing the techniques before I even knew what the techniques were. Like I was just doing them because they were just innate in me. They were already inside of me. And if I can do it just without knowing all this other stuff that's being projected onto the internet, so can you. So I really hope that this story inspires you. It makes you feel like you have hope, you have something to, trust, which is yourself. Daydream, visualize, do whatever makes you feel good. And I didn't have a timeline on this one. This one, I didn't have a specific date or time. I didn't really say by this date I want it. It was just a desire. And I think maybe somewhere I may have journaled that I wanted to live in a cosmopolitan city and stuff. And I'm going to share some other manifestations that have come up for a different video. So stay tuned for that. But today, this is the one I wanted to talk about, was my career and the aha moment, be like, wow, I'm doing exactly what I always wanted to do. And now, when you manifest like in steps, like now you start to desire different things and more things because you've reached that level. It's like, we used to wish we can make like $2,000 a month, and then like we make that $2,000 and then we're like, wow, but I want to make 3,000 or 4,000 or 5,000 or 100,000, whatever, right? So like it's the incremental upgrades that we get in life. And so now I'm in the journey of manifesting different things for my career and my life. And I'm just so grateful when I think about it and I share it with you guys of how I feel. And when I look back, and I was looking at old journals last night about, 2010, 2011, 2012, and like where I was and where I was at in life and what I was going through. And I see all the patterns and all the thoughts, and some of them I still carry today. So when they talk about your thoughts create your reality, it's so true. So if you are a journaler, write down your thoughts or go back and read old journals if you used to do it. It really gives you clear insight to how you think about yourself and how you see yourself. And that's what perpetuates in your reality. So yeah, I'm really grateful to share this testimony with you. If you liked it, if it resonated with you, if it inspired you, if you have questions, please leave it all down, share a like, comment, all of the above. And thank you so much for joining me on Manifest with KK. And I'll see you guys on the next video.